So the Republican legislature in Tennessee just had to walk back a law they proposed that removed the age limit for marriage. The law, which is basically a horrible and offensive anti-gay bill, is still on the agenda. They just had to remove the part about being allowed to marry anyone of any age. And let's just be clear, that part of the bill wasn't put in because grown women were just lining up to marry 10-year-old boys. I mean, how would those children in this Christian theo-fascist society that apparently so many of us want to go back to provide for their wives? No, this was about men. Men wanting to marry young girls. Girls not yet of age. Girls who haven't yet found their voice or place in the world. Pure girls they can teach to stay silent and obedient. Young girls they can mold to be the kind of wife they believe women should be. Girls who will cook and clean and lie passively while they're fucked by some man they weren't even old enough to consent to prior to this law being written. Girls that will carry their husband's babies until their bodies give out because they can't have abortions or use birth control or even say no to the man they were married off to. Girls who will grow into women who will keep their mouths shut and their legs open. And yes, that's crude, but it's exactly right and exactly the path these Christian, high horse, virtue signaling, what about the children Republicans have us on. The Republican Party that keeps talking about the dangers of pedophilia, but has nothing to say when representative after representative of their own party is arrested for that very thing. The Republican Party who goes on endlessly about how Democrats want to groom children and talk about sexuality and transition kids in kindergarten, all things that aren't happening, all homophobic bullshit to conflate LGBTQ issues with pedophilia, so they can call anyone who speaks out against their backward laws as being pro-pedophile. The Republican Party, who made the man who trafficked underage girls across state lines into one of their shining stars and sat him on the Justice Committee. The Republican Party, who supported a known pedophile when he ran for Senate in Alabama. The Republican Party, who was so deeply wrapped up in the Jeffrey Epstein underage sex scandal that their grand and glorious leader wished his partner well when she was arrested. The Republican Party, who falsely slandered our most recent Supreme Court justice for being pro-pedophilia, but has nothing to say about the RNC's senior staffer that has just been arrested for multiple counts of child porn, including his absolute favorite, baby rape. The people writing these laws to make children into sex slaves and women into second-class citizens and gay and trans people into unsavory, unwelcome members of society are the same people shielding sex traffickers, protecting child rapists, and proposing laws to marry little girls. And it's sick. The Republican Party is sick and broken. And you can say all you want about Democrats, but first take some responsibility and get your facts straight. Because supporting a person's right to choose the gender they have sex with is a hell of a lot different than supporting someone's right to choose to have sex with a child. So if you're still supporting these monsters who will demonize your neighbors for who they love and undermine 50% of the population's right to their own body and sell your daughters into some twisted version of religious morality, then you should take a good hard look in the mirror and check your values. Because you are not a good person.